Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a first-time viewer, I just want to give you a big thank you for coming onto my channel. Today, Heidi creates a low-carb Tuscan shrimp. This recipe is a great recipe for those of you who are following a low-carb diet. And even if you're not following a low-carb diet, this is an incredible recipe. It's decadent, it's rich, it's creamy, it's so full of flavor. You will love this. And if you don't like shrimp, this is an excellent recipe to substitute chicken. Really, you just can't go wrong with this recipe. There's lots of things that you can do to make it your own. It's so fast and easy, and a lot of us in our busy lives really could use more fast and easy recipes, and this is one of those recipes. Stick around, watch the video. Today we're gonna make Tuscan shrimp. I have 2 tablespoons of butter now melting in the pan, and as soon as that gets all melted and up to temperature, we're going to saute the onions. And when I caramelize the onions, it just gives it just a really good flavor and color, and just my preference. So I'm going to go ahead and put the onions in and get these going. I have a small sweet onion in here, and diced it up. Don't be afraid to use a higher temperature. Medium high is about right. Once you get the onions caramelized, everything moves along pretty quickly. Well, you can see I'm getting a really nice color to the onions now. I'm going to add the garlic. Now, if you're doing fresh garlic, you can do about, I don't know, whatever you like, but I like a lot of garlic, so I'm putting probably about the equivalent of 5 to 6 cloves of garlic in here. Now, you don't want to cook the garlic too long because it gets bitter, so we're just going to saute it just a little bit. A really nice color to the onion. So I'm going to go ahead and add the white wine to this. And I'm going to add probably about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup. And we're going to reduce this down so there's not quite so much liquid. So I've got the liquid reduced to by about half the volume I started out with. And I'm going to go ahead and add the shrimp now. Now, if I was using raw shrimp, I would actually have sauteed that with the onion, but I'm using pre-cooked shrimp, and so all I really need to do is just warm it up. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in now. Just make sure whatever shrimp that you choose that it's peeled, deveined, and I like the tails off because we don't like to pick them out while I'm eating it. So it just makes it easier to eat for everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and just let that heat up a little bit. And while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and add the sun-dried tomatoes. I did dice them. You can julienne them. It kind of just all depends on your preference when it comes to the texture of these tomatoes. Love the flavor. They're so sweet and yummy. So we're just going to heat things up a little bit here and add my basil, oregano, parsley. You could also use Italian seasoning. You also want to salt and pepper to taste. Now, just remember we're going to be adding in some Parmesan cheese, which is a bit salty as well, so you want to be kind of careful how much salt you add. You don't want to get too salty. Isn't that looking beautiful? Love the color. The aroma is incredible. I'm going to go ahead and add in the cream. I've probably got about 1.5 cups to 1 3/4 cups. And go ahead and let that heat up a little bit. So I do have this heated up to a simmer, and we're going to thicken this just a little bit with, now if you're trying to do low carb, you want to do something like Glucomannan or arrowroot. But if you don't have either one of those, just do like a little teaspoon or half a teaspoon of cornstarch and some water, and then add a little bit to your mixture. We don't want it real thick. For a low carb option, what I'm going to have, my husband's going to have it with the pasta, I'm going to have it with spaghetti squash, and I've had that baking over here in my electric skillet. That's a good consistency right there. It's just like a really light, thin gravy. We're going to add the spinach to it. I just like to do like 3 good handfuls of spinach. A little much in that pan. And then we're just going to heat that up until it wilts a little bit. We don't want to get it too wilted. Definitely want to reduce that down in size. That's looking really good. And the color is still bright on the spinach, so it's just perfect. Going to be nice and tender for eating. And something that's a no-brainer for me is I do like my food spicy. So I like to add crushed red peppers. I think it adds a nice kick. Okay, just going to keep this on low until I get the pasta cooked up. This is the skillet that I used for cooking my squash in, and I can only do half at a time, but it sure works great. I just put it face down, and I cook it at about 275, and within 30 to 45 minutes it's done. It's tender and ready to go. So just before serving, I'm going to go ahead and put in about 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Get it all melted in there. You can use the grated stuff you get from a can, fresh grated Parmesan. They're both great. I can guarantee that neither one will taste terrible. Well, here it is, all served up on pasta. My husband is a fanatic over sauce, so I gotta make sure I give him lots of sauce. Very tasty dish. And here we have it served over spaghetti squash, which I love it this way. It's sweet and full of flavor and a really nice complement to the Tuscan shrimp. Enjoy!